Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the K-91-PT. It's a Tier 9 Soviet tank destroyer. It's located on the eastbourne of Arctic region and it's under the command of RNG's Toxis. And he only just bought this tank a short while ago, or rather obtained it, because I think it's the one you get from bonds. And so he's just trying it out for the first time. Now, as you can see here, it's got a 122mm gun, 390 Alpha, 315mm with standard APCR. With the premium, oh, that's the premium one, sorry. With the standard AP, it's 258. So, yes, he's relocated them onto the other side. He knocks the tree down, but it looks like he's about to, be dispossessed of his firing position by that T-30. Okay, can you get a shot onto this M4Y? Yes, he does, into the engine bay, but it's a low roll for 377. Okay, 257 coming through. He's going to appear at that end there any second. Nice, but it didn't actually go through the tracks. All he did was damage the tracks of the vehicle. And he's pulled back out the way, and an IS-3 suddenly appears. He wants to get a shot at that guy, so he's dialing in. Oh, he's been tracked. And that one he definitely went through. 332, which is a low roll. Go for the Konami. Oh, and he gets an ammo rack on that guy. He's out the game altogether. So he's got his first kill, but he just got stunned by the enemy Arty. There is only one enemy Arty. It's a school bus, the SU-14-2. And the Sharp U-4 was being a bit of a pain there. He was blocking RNG from getting a position. And so he's decided to fall back. In fact, it's probably a good idea that he did, because he suddenly spotted that the enemy tanks he was firing at a short while ago are actually trying to wake their way through the pass. And so he's actually headed over to this corner to defend the cap area. Now, he didn't go up into the sniping nest, although he could have. This particular tank destroyer's got fairly good armour on the front of the vehicle. No, still no sign of them. And a nice hit into the Leopard prototype. You see a fairly quick reload. No, that's a wreck. He's protected from that position. If he's not careful, enemy Arty might be firing in this direction very shortly. Good news is they're focusing on ahead. Now that C-124 knows that there's somebody over this side who can penetrate him, they're looking at the T-30, trying to get pens on him. But now they know that he's over this side, and the E4 has decided to look solely in this direction and took around straight through the commander's cupola. Sharp U-4 learned that sometimes you need a little caution. Bit too hasty to get at the enemy. Paid for it. Okay, T-95 side on, should be able to punch to the side. Oh, didn't pen. Probably won't get through. Oh, we did! And a high roll. Okay, CS-53's got very close. Diving in to get a good hit, but he doesn't. Standard reload for this tank is 8.25 seconds. You can see that RNG has got a 6.69. It's not bad. Considering he's only been playing it a short while as well. Now, historically, the gun on this tank was a 100mm, not the 122 that we see in game. It was a discontinued project, a version of the K-91, which you actually is also in the game as well, but that's a slightly different configuration. Oh, that was a good one. High roll on the CS-53, 425. He's racked up just under 5Ks of damage now. But his team are down, and potentially he's got 20% of the enemy hit pool. Now, he was seen there because he poked and as he fired, he was just too close to the bush. The worry now is he might get shot at by these guys as well. I'm shocked that the enemy Arty isn't firing. He does need to worry about the enemy coming in from the other direction as well, from his right. Yeah, he's just trying to mix it up. Change which direction he comes in from. His focus has got to be on the CS-53 and the Cranvarn, although he can't penetrate the Cranvarn frontally. Unless he turns his turret and makes it a weak spot. Oh, nice! Progetto 65 side turret. And we had the Cranvarn side turret for a moment, but he's changed it back. Now he's looking directly at. Every time he looks to his side, he's actually exposing his weak spots. And now we can see why the Charview GeForce is coming in. There's only 5 left on our team. There's 10 on the enemy team. And in fact, now we've lost another one. Charview GeForce is coming round. This is getting very, very dicey. We have to face the Charview GeForce. He's gone! He just got taken out by our Kampfpanzer, Ton, and now the Cranvarn's making for the cap area. Exposes his weak side area, and the Charview GeForce is going to put a few more rounds in with his 105mm gun. Now we might be blocking each other there. RNG's Toxis is trying to stop the enemy coming up from the south. He blocks around from the E4, but now Arty is firing in this direction. Just put a shot in the Charview GeForce. The CS-53 hits us and pens us for 346, but the T-124 goes down to the Char. I think he's reloading now, so it's down to us to take out the 257. And once we got rid of him, we need to deal with the 263 and then the enemy Arty. There's only 3 left on their team. So we really do need to kill this 257, and then we've clawed the game back. Boat hull, yep, he's out. Lure plate, need to turn around and deal with the 263. The Kampfpanzer Ton has actually come down to try and kill the 263, but you can see RNG's Toxis is off to the races, and with good reason, because now it's only the Arty left. He's headed off in this direction. He wants to get the last kill of the game. They turned this game around. At one point, there was only 5 of them left, 10 of the enemy, and now it's only 1 enemy left facing 3 on RNG's Toxis' game. So, yeah, 6.1k of damage so far. The whole team is, they're in, well, not the whole team in chat, but I think they're pretty excited that they're going to win this one when they really didn't think that they would win it. And there's the Su-14 too. He's been spotted. He's all RNG's Toxis. He's loading an HE round to make it count. Yes! Wins the game. It's all over. What a fantastic game that was. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was an ace tanker game for RNG's Toxis in the K-91-PT, and that's pretty amazing considering he's only had this tank for a brief couple of days, hasn't played it much, but he got an ace tanker in this one off his skill. He managed to get a spotter badge for spotting at least 1,000 hit points of damage, a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 7 in this one. He got a demolition expert because he blew one of the enemy tanks apart. That was the Carnarvon right at the start. Yeah, 1 round went through, hit the ammo rack, bang, he went out of the game. He got a fire for effect for doing more damage than the hit points to his own vehicle, and he also got a Confederate for doing more damage, hitting more enemies than anyone else on his team, as well as the high caliber for dealing the most damage in that game overall. So a fantastic game. Let's have a look at team score. Well, we can see he did get the highest damage with 6,560 hit points in the end. The next highest scorer was the Kampfpanzer Sieg, who managed to get 4,396. And the third highest damage after that was the Kramvan with 3,635. That was the player on the enemy team. And when it came to kills, it was the Kampfpanzer Sieg who managed to get 5 kills in that one. 3 kills went to the Charfuture 4, to RNG's Toxis, and to the Charfuture 4 on the enemy team. And then when it came to base XP, it was RNG's Toxis. Yes, he got 1,528. 1,286 went to the Kampfpanzer Funzig, and 965 went to the Charfuture 4. He fired 22 rounds in that game, got 19 direct hits and 15 penetrations on the enemy, 6,560 hit points of damage, of which 2,544 were up more than 300 meters. 4 hits received, 2 penetrated, 2 non-penetrations, and 1 hit by way of splash damage. That was the shot early on in the game, actually. It stunned him, but it didn't actually do any damage to him. 1,140 hit points of damage blocked by armor, 3 enemy vehicles spotted, 12 enemy vehicles damaged, 3 killed, and 2,321 hit points of spotting assist. He earned 58,792 credits from the game, but he did fire a fair amount of premium ammo, and as a result he actually ended up with a loss of 39,739 credits for the game, but I think it was a really good result. 1,528 XP, 1,146 for tactical training, 115 for this being a premium vehicle, but a vehicle that you buy with bonds. In the end, he ended up with 3,553 experience points altogether. So the K-91-PT, we haven't seen it all that often. Let's have a look at the armor profile. It's got fairly heavy armor at the front. You can see impacted armor there is 120 millimeters. With slight angling, it actually does turn up to be a fair bit more. 161.7 there on the lower plate. On the upper plate, it's 140 impacted, but look at that, effective armor 175 because slight slope. The engine deck is very flat and very thin as well. It's only 40 millimeters, so you're not going to protect yourself off that one. But since most of the enemy are looking straight at you, they can't get the shells onto the engine deck, but the Arty certainly can. The front of the cheeks of the casement, because it's not a turret. The cheeks of that casement are very, very thick indeed. 260 impacted, but look at the effective 315 because it's fairly well angled. I think you can see that from above. It's sort of like allowing the a slight angling when you're looking at it. The cupolas are not very strongly armored, but they're very, very small, very difficult to hit. Okay, the sides fairly thin, 60 millimeters effective, and it's fairly flat-sided, so it's fairly easy to get rounds in. A little angled on the casement, again 155 millimeter impacted armor, but the effective armor goes up slightly because of the slight angling. The rear of the tank is very easy to penetrate. 45 millimeters impacted armor, that's the actual armor, but the effective armor is the same, so because it's slab-sided. So that's the armor layout. Let's have a look at the modules. Here's the module layout for the K91. This is not the K91-PT, this is the K91 medium tank. Now I can't find the proper module layout for the K91-PT because I think Wargaming actually didn't give it to Armored Inspector. But we'll take it that this is the module layout for the K91, and that the K91-PT would have virtually the same layout. We've got the engine up front, fuel tanks either side. We've got the gunner on the right hand side next to the gun with the commander sitting right behind him. And on the left hand side of the vehicle we've got the driver, and you can see that there's a loader just behind him feeding the shells into the breach with the ammo rack behind them. Now that's the turret for the K91. Obviously the tank we're looking at, the PT, doesn't have a turret, it has a casement. And it's more than likely the ammo rack would actually be somewhere else, because of course if the rear of the vehicle is the doors that lead out of the vehicle, then the ammo rack would have to be down below in the hull in order for the crew to climb out the hatch at the back. So I'm afraid this module layout can't be guaranteed to be correct, but it does give you some idea of where everything might be in the K91-PT. I hope you enjoyed that game. If you did, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm, and thank you for watching.